Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface, joined again with my good bud Grant.
Hello everybody.
And today we're here to discuss the Suicide Squad.
Very
so
important.
We're going to completely revamp the format of these videos. We're going to give some non-spoilery stuff for people that don't want to know what happens in it but are keen to kind of find out our points of view. Then we're going to do a little bit of spoilery stuff.
Just a smidge.
We're going to condense it down, though. We're going to condense the video down to a more manageable feast for you.
Yeah, because we do tend to waffle on a bit.
Yeah.
In these things.
It's so awesome. So first things first, we'll do what we always do, Grant.
Yep.
Would you recommend people go see Suicide Squad?
I reckon if you've seen the trailer and like what you see, it's definitely going to deliver everything you want it to. Mm-hmm. And if you're sick of the DC franchise being up its own arse, then this does a great job of pulling it back out.
Do you think it's up its own arse? Who says that?
Man of Steel was a bit up its own arse.
Wow.
Sorry, fanboy.
Wow. No, okay. Any other things you'd like to add to that?
No, I think that's
I would say get to the cinema right now. Seriously, get to the cinema right now. I'm going to start this. I'm going to start this video with a little bit of a rant. I'm afraid, Grant. And
I'll sit back.
Yeah, you just sit back, relax, get that mug of Horlicks out that you keep by your side.
How did you know?
Fuck off, critics. Fuck you. Seriously, just fuck you. To see the kind of score that this film's at in Rotten Tomatoes, it's something stupid in the 20s. For how fresh versus how rotten it is. And this is a great comic book movie. This to me, in a lot of instances, felt more like reading a comic than any of the comic book movies I've seen. Any of them. And I think there definitely seems to be some sort of agenda against DC films, but they're just salivating to pounce on it. And it's the same old fucking YouTube sites as well, with the same old fucking pompous, we think we're critics just because we have a YouTube channel. Well, we're not really. We're all amateur fucks. And it just pisses me off, because this is a great film. Go and see it. Go fucking see it. Go fucking see it right now. This is a great film, and critics be damned.
Do you feel better?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much, Grant. Going to take a swig of orange juice.
You've been waiting to say that for a good few hours, haven't you?
It's been building up because, like I said, the horrible Rotten Tomatoes score that it's currently got. Let me check, but I know that it was down as far as 22% at one stage.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I think the last time I checked, it was on 29. It's currently at 26%.
Blimey.
And I tell you what, here's a damning indictment of why these critics are a bunch of fucktards. Right, it's on a 26% rotten score after 226 reviews. It's on a 74% liked it by the audience. That is not bad.
That's pretty damn good.
3 out of 4 people saying they liked it. Off 69,000. So there is definitely agenda with this kind of film, I believe. And if it doesn't have the stamp of Marvel in front of it, then people are just going, nah, 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 nah. Because all critics want is the DC movies to be like Marvel. And then if the DC movies were like Marvel, the first thing they'd do is go, oh, they're just copying Marvel. And they'd be in the same fucking boat.
They are starting on the back foot, and I think critics are jumping on.
It's a witch hunt. It's actually a witch hunt against DC, because how this has a 26% Rotten Tomatoes score is laughable. I'm just at a damning indictment of the sort of shit that we have kind of reviewing stuff.
This video
Speaking
is
of shit
by
reviewing
Rotten Tomatoes.
stuff, here's Grant and Az.
Yay!
Sorry, go on, mate.
No, I don't understand quite why it's gotten the reviews that it has. It doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't over-deliver. Mm-hmm. I think, like I was saying, the trailer is a very good representation of what the film gives you.
Yeah.
I felt the first half an hour of the film was in a very long, extended trailer. It was cut in a very similar style.
The first half hour was amazing.
Oh, it was stunning.
But
I love the trailers.
That up.
Yeah. But if you're looking for
kid
something
with
to...
cake.
I was really in two minds with this film because I was cautious of the fact that it was getting negative press.
Yeah.
But I knew that was potentially biased because of them starting on the back foot with Marvel being this great bastion of filmmaking. Which
I just think a better idea of how a film is when you look at the people coming out.
Yeah.
And what they have to say about it.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to some trumped up agenda, and because a lot of these people just trying to make names themselves.
Yeah,
as we saw with the Warcraft movie, there was a definite movement for a few people, a few sites to try and make a name for themselves.
Yeah.
So you tell me there's not an agenda.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
No, you're absolutely right.
No, it's not a perfect film. Don't get me wrong.
No,
but what is a perfect film? Empire Strikes Back. What is another perfect film? None.
I don't know. Return of the King was pretty good.
Yeah, that's all right. It's a bit long. And if you're not into Tolkien, you're fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, there are a couple of moments. There are a few moments in there. I was kind of like, okay, I don't get that. And I thought the ending was a bit wishy-washy.
Yeah.
A bit Hollywood.
Yeah,
a bit of Hollywood ending. Could have had a better ending.
I think there are some not big issues, but certainly issues that if you prioritise that kind of thing, it would turn you off the film. The villain, for example, I think would turn a lot of people off. Because
I had no problem with the villain.
Yeah, nor did I, but I can see it it's not in the same kind of comic.
Do you know why I
vein.
thought the villain was really good?
Go for it.
And very clever. Is because we have a group of people, and I don't think a lot of critics understand that there was actually a hierarchy in the group itself. This wasn't 7 equals or whatever, how many people.
Yeah.
This wasn't a group of equals going into the fight. This was a cast of characters that was led by Will Smith, that was supported by Margot Robbie, that then had Rick Flag, that then had, there was a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, definitely.
Here.
There's definitely a chain
Not everybody
command
was meant to be high on the centre of attention.
Yeah.
There was a definite focus on certain characters, and then the supporting cast would chime in every now and again with either a funny, with either a serious moment. There's some great tender moments in here as well, some great emotional moments in here as well, not forced. And I just don't think they appreciated that. I think they're expecting every single person to have exactly the same amount of screen time, to have exactly the same level of play here. And these characters had different motivations, and I thought that was great. And I thought Will Smith was amazing.
Will Smith's character by far just stole the show for me.
Here's the one I was worried about, because it's just like, oh god, this is going to be the Will Smith show. And then when he started doing his Will Smithisms, you're just like, fuck man, that boy is top.
It really works in this context, and I think the film is so stylized. It is a style over substance kind of film, I felt.
Really?
There was a lot of substance there, but the styling was so...
It was very it's very stylized, but this is what I say when I say I feel like I was watching a comic.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
it's very,
especially when you said the first half hour and the way the first half hour worked.
It was very kind of Scott Pilgrim-esque.
I've not seen Scott. I keep getting badgered to watch this.
No, it's a stunning film.
But it was kind of like the way they're introducing, and I like the way they had very short kind of stories attached to them. There wasn't long-winded build-ups.
But there's some pretty impressive cameos there.
Oh, there were some very impressive cameos. Wonderful little... we have to spoil it. That will go into the spoiler discussion.
All right, then.
So we have these wonderful little stories building up these characters. Varying lengths. Will Smith is slightly longer. Harley Quinn's is slightly longer with Margot Robbie.
Yeah, and that's representative of...
Yeah, and it's representative of how prominent their character is meant to be. And it worked, and it made sense, and actually kind of made a lot of sense the way that Will Smith was kind of like the domineering figure of the Suicide Squad, because these guys and girls were complete misfits.
Yeah.
And suddenly they found some solidarity with each other. And so instead of like a really cheesy, corny kind of way of, we're bad guys, but let's do some good because we'll get some time off our jail and shit.
Yeah.
They were like, no, we're fucking bad. Fuck you. And then
they don't pull any punches.
Yeah, we're taking Will Smith's lead, and then as Will Smith changed and developed in the film, and again, I thought it was a very organic process of how he developed.
Yeah, definitely.
Although there was one moment which was when Rick Flag pulled out his daughter's letters, I was kind of like, where did they come from?
Yeah. Where were you keeping them?
Yeah. Where you were just walking around with like pristine letters in your. We've been through hell and back. Why aren't they singed?
You were in a helicopter crash, man.
Yeah, exactly. You're in a helicopter crash, man. But apart from like one moment here and there, like I said, this is why it's not a perfect film.
Yeah, of course.
The development of most of the characters was really clever.
Yeah, everyone had their own motivation, and it was pretty clearly defined that these guys all didn't have the same goal, but you don't expect them to because they're bad guys with their own agendas. They're quite selfish. That's the nature of them.
Well, one of the funniest moments in the film is when Rick Flag kind of like gives them an option to go at one point. He's like, you can leave if you want. And everyone stands there. And Captain Boomerang, literally, his cap is still floating in the air. He's run. He just runs out ASAP. Cool. And I tell you what, the cinema burst out laughing with that.
Yeah, there were a few laugh out loud moments, and I think that's what I mean when it pulls the DC universe back into, I don't know, some kind of not taking itself so seriously.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's the DC universe taking itself seriously. I think Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
taking himself very seriously, and I think we've got to be very aware of this.
Yeah.
Don't blame. Just like don't blame. Hashtag don't blame Slimer. Hashtag don't blame the DC characters. Blame the directors behind it if you want to lay blame.
Yeah.
I love the little moments of comedy. There's quite a few moments of comedy in here as well.
Yeah, I guess what I'm getting at is it was a refreshing tone for a cinematic outing.
And then I thought we had Viola Davis with an stellar Amanda Waller.
Yeah, see, I mean, this is kind of probably where your expertise on the DC universe comes in, because I don't know any of these characters bar the trailers.
Right, okay.
And a little bit of the
Well,
Batman
Amanda Waller is
series.
like the head. She's like the head of the Suicide Squad, Argus, and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And she's a woman who can even stare down Batman.
Yeah.
She will look Batman in the eye and she will not flinch. And Batman knows this. And Batman is aware of. He's not scared of her. I've heard people say Batman's scared of Amanda Waller. He's not scared of Amanda Waller. He's very aware of Amanda Waller.
Okay. He
knows what she's capable of doing.
So she's a big part of the extended story.
Yes, yeah, and she was played absolutely fantastically by Viola Davis. That was Amanda Waller. She was total badass. Total
but with
badass.
Very lax security, but we'll get into that.
Wow. Yeah. It's an alien. It's not an alien threat. It's like a godlike threat.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the non-spoilery stuff kind of like discussed.
Yeah.
We've got if we want to go a little bit deeper now, we've got to kind of like be mentioning things.
Spoiler warnings.
Because we're going to go into the Joker.
Yes.
Now, that's a big thing that needs to be discussed.
Yes.
So going into the spoilers. And,
final warning, everybody.
Yeah, this is it. So, whoop, spoiler alert now. Jared Leto's Joker, how did he take it?
Little cringy for me.
Okay.
It felt like, and my wife put this very well actually, it felt like a kid who thinks he can act going full ham at what he thinks the Joker should be. And
right.
Within the context of this film, it works. With him being part of future Batman films, I think it might be a little too much.
Okay. Well, first things first. Let's be aware he doesn't have a huge amount of screen time.
No.
He probably has about 10 minutes screen time in the whole of the film. In the whole of the film that's 2 hours long. You know, an hour and 50 minutes, whatever it is. So in that respect, we don't get a huge amount to flesh him out. I'm still out on... My jury is still out on him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there were some bits I liked. There were some bits I wasn't too keen on. Like, I wasn't too keen on his growling and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, where's the laughing, you know?
Yeah.
That growl, if you're going to growl, should turn into some sort of laugh.
Yeah, I think it was intimidating, trying to be threatening...
Yeah.
Without the Joker's toolkit, which is
But I thought he did have a presence, though. He did have a presence.
Definitely, yeah.
Especially when that guy who just wasn't intimidated by like the person chopping the meat.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And suddenly the Joker comes in and he's just like... Because he knows the threat of the Joker.
But I didn't get that kind of unbalanced, on-edge kind of Joker. That I feel that's...
Well, yeah, I mean, there was a moment... There's a moment where I just totally didn't understand what had happened. And I don't know if this was an editing problem or something, but...
Yeah.
There is the scene where the Joker's men attack Arkham.
Yeah.
And he puts Harley Quinn on the table, and he puts the 2 electrodes or whatever they were to a temple, and he's like, I'm not going to kill you.
Forced shock therapy.
Yeah, I'm just going to hurt you really, really bad. And then later on in the film, we see a scene in Axis Chemicals where he's asking her to live for him, or die for him, or die for him. Then, no, don't die for me, live for me. And she's perfectly normal. Yeah, she's gooky and in love with him, but she doesn't look like anybody who's had any sort of shock therapy or anything. So I thought, like, how did we get that transition?
At what point does she snap? I think it might hint at a more gradual process.
Well, that's what I thought, and that's what I was liking about that little backstory with Harley Quinn and the Joker.
Yeah.
Was sort of like the gradual turn of her. And the way that, I like the little flashes of, like, when he's talking to her, she just sounds like a little flash into her mind, and she's just thinking about fucking him.
Yeah.
Because she's just like, oh, God, so we can see that she's totally infatuated with the guy. And I like that. So,
I did really like the relationship between those two. It's really interesting.
I thought there was elements of mad love, and they put that brilliant bit, this is probably going to go over your head, but they have this brilliant moment where the Joker's in full tuxedo, spats the lot, Harley Quinn is in her original costume.
Yes, and they were dancing.
The red and the red
and
black costume.
Yeah.
And the dancing, and that is very much Mad Love cover sort of business.
Yeah.
So that was a really, really nice homage.
No, I did get that. I've been around too many comic book conventions not to know that costume quite well.
Yes.
No, there's there was a really nice couple of nods to her origins in the show.
Yeah. Now the villains, of course.
Yeah.
The villain was, I thought, a nice little curveball. The main villain turns out to be the Enchantress.
Yeah, interesting.
Who's actually set up to be part of the Suicide Squad to start with.
Yeah.
And then the co-villain is her brother, who, and there's some sort of beings of power that were once worshipped as gods.
Yeah, there's several thousand years on. I think it's like Mayan, Egyptian.
Yeah, and I like that, and the fact that they no longer worship them. People worship money, and they worship power and machinery, and all that kind of stuff. So I liked, and I'll tell you why I liked the villains, because the focus very much stayed on the team, but the villains looked like a genuine threat.
Yeah.
So I didn't care that I didn't know everything about Enchantress and her brother. I didn't care. I didn't need to know. I just needed to know what they set up.
You just need to put
these
a threat
people
in front
are legit.
of
Yeah,
in front
they're
of them.
legit, and if they're not stopped, shit's just going to get fucked.
Yeah.
So I liked that. I thought that was a very clever and concise, but it's sort of saying, look, here's some villains, genuine threat. God, yes, they are actually, aren't they? Let's get back to the team.
Yeah, because I came out of the cinema thinking that villain really wasn't as good as it could have been. But then I thought, well, hang on, we're already dealing with the villains as the protagonists. You don't need a huge, great. Well, it was very threatening, but it wasn't like it wasn't overplayed in the story. The story was way more about the team, and you just need to put an Ex Machina threat in front of them and let what happens happen.
Because when the guy gets like possessed in the subway, it was horrific.
It was quite violent.
He's just like killing everybody and turning them, just like, oh my god.
I think the whole Enchantress design is very threatening, like how she transforms by grabbing the Doctor's hand and then it flips over.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Because they're meant to be dimensional beings, aren't they?
Yeah.
I thought that was really clever. Set up the threat, get back to the team.
Yeah, I think and the more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, that is how it should have been done.
And we have the obligatory casualties. Suicide Squad. You can't have Suicide Squad without losing troops.
No.
And a couple of things here which I really enjoyed. First of all, it was so obvious that Slipknot was not making it past about the first 10 minutes of the film.
No.
At least the first 10 minutes of the, invasion, the threat.
His job was to punch someone in the face, get sent in, and then get his head blown off.
Yeah. He was the let's show that these explosives that we've planted in the next Suicide Squad, so they've got to do what we say they do, are legit.
And that was quite graphic. It was quite legit.
His head went pop. It went pop. And then what I really liked was at the end of the film when they're planting the explosive to blow up the brother.
Yeah.
And it's actually a soldier who plants the explosive.
Yeah,
and he kills himself to do it. And that was that made me so happy because that made me realise that Rick Flagg's team, all of those people that were sent in, were soldiers of their free will. They weren't prisoners, but they were absolutely told this is a suicide mission.
Yeah.
And there is a very high chance we're not coming back. So all these soldiers knew their job, knew their role, and knew that they would at any moment have to sacrifice themselves for the team.
Yeah.
And I thought, fucking spot on.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that kind of thing really does emphasise the threat, especially if you're not overdeveloping a villain. You make the consequences important.
Yeah.
And the willingness to sacrifice yourself is a really
because if it all went fucking tits up, then they had it all perfectly sorted.
And
they
especially
just blamed the squad.
Yeah, and especially in the climax of the film to act as a catalyst to unite this team to work together, because they've kind of been working a little bit at odds with each other.
Yeah.
Just doing their own thing, kicking some ass, and then moving on because they're all good at what they do. The final fight, that wasn't going to fly. They needed to work together to beat Enchantress. And that kind of thing, again, is a perfect catalyst for turning this group of misfits into a team that can work together.
And the second sacrifice was El Diablo.
Yeah, stunning.
And I loved his character.
I really did.
He started off. He wouldn't fight to start off with.
Yeah.
Because as we found out later, what he did to his family, and that's where he gives himself up. You see where he says, "Oh no, he gave himself up," and you see him give himself up in front of a burning house, which was his burning house. Had killed his wife and kids by his rage.
Yeah, it was very apparent that he did not want. He was done. He was retired.
Yeah. And then Will Smith, of course, that scene which we've all seen in the trailers, where Will Smith forces him into doing that. But we think that's the extent of his power. But it actually turns out that El Diablo is some sort of dimensional being as well.
Yeah, it's kind of I don't know if they should have built that up a little bit more.
No, I think perfect.
But equally, I think the surprise was good
because he's there just burning him with his flame.
Yeah,
the brother knocks him right back, and then it's just that's it. You woke the beast. You woke the beast.
Yeah.
And then he comes out full fucking fiery devil.
Yeah, 20 feet tall.
And it's just awesome. And he eventually gets beat down, and then he gets blown up because that's when he forces him into the corner. It's blow up the thing.
Yeah.
And that was a great sacrifice because he obviously needed redemption for what he did to his family. And
yeah, it was a nice little side story.
And then we got what I thought was a wee bit of a Hollywood ending where they throw the bag into the rift, and
Zack Snyder and his slow-mo porn.
Yeah, it's just kind of this ending really doesn't kind of fit. It should have had a there should have been something a little bit different here. This was a bit too corny.
How do you stop it? You blow it up.
Yeah. But as a piece of entertainment, I was riveted.
Yeah.
Acting, I thought everybody played their roles great.
Performances were...
Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang.
Love him.
I've never thought I'd say this, but I love Jai Courtney.
Yeah, he's redeemed himself a little bit from his previous.
He's great comic relief. He's Australian, so he just had to overact.
Yeah.
In essence, just doing a really fucking over the top Australian there.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. It was just shit, dude. This is what you need to do in every film. Just be an Australian.
Yeah, I would like to see him cameo in either another film or a TV series.
Well, speaking of cameo, the great little cameos that we had: Flash,
yep,
capturing Captain Boomerang. Captain Boomerang, of course, as DC fans will know, is part of the Rogues, which is part of the Flash's Rogue Gallery. And yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's why he got that capture. And then,
cool.
of course, Batman makes a couple of appearances.
Yeah.
In Deadshot's story and also in Harley Quinn Joker.
Yeah.
And he's played really well.
Yeah, it's just the right amount of Batman.
Yeah. It's just a little bit of Batman being badass. Don't even know if he says any words while in... Oh, yeah. He says a little bit to Deadpool. Deadshot, sorry, not Deadpool.
Wrong franchise.
Yeah, wrong franchise. Good franchise, though. He says a little bit to Deadshot.
Yeah.
But when he's after the Joker and Harley Quinn, there are no words.
No, it's I think that establishes a more ongoing conflict in that they're not going to exchange any pleasantries. Although
Yeah.
I did like Harley Quinn's "You're ruining date night."
Yeah, really Dana. And one of my personal favourite bits where Harley Quinn is after the beautiful speech by El Diablo.
Yeah.
In the pub, in the bar, is when Harley Quinn's saying, "Look, we're all rotten on the inside." You know, we all, or somebody was saying that we're all rotten. Yeah, because Captain Boomerang says, "Oh, you're pretty on the outside, but you're rotten on the inside." And she's like, "We're all rotten."
Yeah.
On the inside, and then she says, apart from Killer Croc, who's also ugly on the outside. Oh no, we're all ugly on the inside, didn't she?
Yeah.
Apart from he's ugly on the outside, and he just goes, "No, I'm beautiful," and she's just like, "There you are," and it's just, I love that moment. Killer Croc had only a couple of moments.
Yeah, he was.
But my God, they were good.
He was the real muscle of the film.
Yeah.
But the lines that he got given, memorable, really, really good.
Yeah, I could just imagine Ben Affleck fighting him.
Yeah.
He's part of the Batman Rogues Gallery as Killer Croc. I could just see Batman fighting this guy, and it making sense.
Yeah.
So I thought David Ayer did a great job. A couple of little weirdy moments, and I'm not convinced on Jared Leto.
No,
but
jury's out.
If he has more time, maybe he will look at some of the criticisms, with like the grunting and the lack of kind of Joker-esque humour to the malice. There's plenty of malice there, and I buy the malice.
There's not a
where's
lot
the
of
humour?
Yeah,
even the sick humour. But where's the humour?
Yeah, I mean,
being the joke's
a Joker
on us, by the way, with the Joker.
Being a Joker is a tall order for an actor.
Oh yeah, it's a hard. Yeah, he's got not just Jack Nicholson, not just Heath Ledger, but even if he wants to try and play it a little bit more, when I say straight, a little bit comic booky. You got Mark Hamill, and you're just like, oh my God, I'm buggered.
Yeah, because that's where the original relationship comes from between him and Harley, and I think that's where you've got to take a lot of inspiration, because it's kind of its origins, and
just would have liked more bad puns.
Yeah, it's you want a little bit more Mr. Freeze, Arnie Mr. Freeze, just a little bit.
Oh God, no!
Just a smidge.
No, just Jared, perfect. Keep it like it is, mate. Keep it like it is.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah. So, wrapping up. Look, go see this film. From my point of view, go see this film. This is a great film. This is not worthy in any shape, way, or form of this ludicrous Rotten Tomatoes score. Ludicrous.
In fact, even if you come out and don't like it, you at least went to see it to form your own opinion. Don't not see it because the critics pan it.
Don't see it if you don't want to see it, though.
Yeah. But if you like the look of the trailer, it will deliver everything you want.
But yeah, if you're sort of like, jury's out, I don't know if they want, make your own opinion. Like Warcraft, make your own opinion up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll wrap it up there, folks. Let's keep it under half an hour.
Woo!
So thank you also for joining us, Grant.
No worries.
What's our next one? What's our next one? Do you know?
What is our next one? That's a good question.
I don't know. Doctor Strange?
I would like to review Doctor Strange.
Okay, that's going to be good, because I know fuck all, mate.
Well, yeah, and so do I.
Oh, right, you're the Marvel guy. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, well, I'm intrigued to see Doctor Strange just because of the visuals.
Yeah.
It looks like Marvel have tried to do Inception, and I'm kind of on board with that.
Well, it looks like Inception has taken quite a few pills of acid.
Yes.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, I think we'll call... and then, of course, later on, we've got Rogue One.
Oh, Rogue One towards the end of the year card. Way
but that's a long way off yet. So we'll have to touch
I'll
base
be here
again.
before you know it, trust me.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm old. Time flies for me, so
I'm
be
not
here.
that young.
He'll be here for me quickly. You might have like a whole summer of fun and an autumn to laugh about. And
Yeah.
me just like, nope, December's time.
Oh, now you make me feel like I've got to go and do some frolicking.
I would. What a beautiful wife, sir. Right, so there we go. That's where we'll leave it.
Yeah, we'll leave that there.
Yeah. Before it gets any more awkward. There was that one time where now it's only.
Whoa.
Okay, so it's
Good
like
film.
Grant.
Suicide Squad, good film.
Oh, there you go. He's now said it's a good film. It is a really good film. Go see it, peeps. And I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up. And also subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links in the description down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.